Matt, in football, a lot of times coaches say interesting things to kickers before they walk out to attempt a game-winning field goal. And AJ said that the two of you had a little pizza discussion before he went out there. Were you just trying to think of something that maybe would relax him a little bit? And could you talk about that? Where'd you come up with that?
Well, it was so much time, and I didn't come up with it. I just he just said he was really nervous, and AJ always tells you what he's thinking. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But he just said, "Man, I am really nervous." And I just started to talk to him about, because I always talk about doing your routine and talking about your routine, and it's yours, and you should be talking to yourself about what you're doing. You're getting your foot to the nail, keeping your elbow in, you're looking at the front of the rim. You have to be able to have that mental routine that you do every single time you shoot a free throw. I try to get them to do that in practice, and so I started to talk about it, but it was so much time, and I could see him. And he'd made his free throws early in the game, and then he had missed some. So we talked about it, and then we brought everybody together and just found, just got everybody's order and just made sure, because we're always talking about the pizza tastes better when you win. And that's always our slogan when you get late in the game, and just about getting on the bus and how enjoyable bus ride it is when you go home and you win and things of that nature. So just trying to get him to just settle down and do his routine and be able to knock it down. What I didn't do was talk to him about missing the second one because they didn't have timeouts, because I didn't want him to think about missing the second one while he's shooting the first one, and just to keep him the focus there. So I had to talk him through missing that at that time, which I've never done with him before. So a lot of times guys will just skyrocket it off the glass and then not hit the rim, then obviously it's a dead ball at that time. And you worry sometimes about the ball when you miss going east and west and they let it trickle out of bounds. Because the last thing you want to do as a coach is have some people on the line and then somebody goes over the back. And you kind of think about that Butler-Pitt game in the NCAA tournament. So you take your guys off, but if the ball will miss east and west, and it's smart to let the ball keep going so it can go out of bounds, and then you can set up so you can run it, you can run a play there and you can throw the basketball while time is standing still. But we were fortunate that they picked it up and shot a three-quarter court. But we're fortunate, period. Coach Chambers has done an unbelievable job, and they had a couple games there at home that could have went either way. And they did a great job and made plays down the stretch, made their free throws, did little things, and we were fortunate that we were able to knock that three down, and then Sterling got that steal, and then Jay made a great pass to AJ. And so we had a lot of things go our way at the end, and I've been on that other end, of those games, and it's no fun. It's absolutely no fun. But I'm blessed to be, on this end this time, and very fortunate, and hopefully we can learn from some of our mistakes, especially the start of the second half. I thought we really did a poor job once again, the start of the second half, of executing and making the necessary plays.
Matt, the guys said that you installed that play during the lob from inbounds during walkthrough today. Just what was kind of the story behind that?
We run the play. We just don't run it from a side out. We ran it just messing around about a month ago in practice, but I never stayed with it and ran it again. But you just get in last-second situations, and you have to have something where you can get to the rim. A lot of times you get in those situations and they put somebody so big in front of you, you can't make a direct pass. You can just make something over the top. So it's only fitting that you try to throw it to the rim. I knew Donovan Jack was out of the game, and I knew they would probably put their biggest guy there, so it didn't put someone of the same size at the rim with him. So I just thought, it's not a high percentage play, even though it worked for us, and we got a foul, but I still thought it was the highest percentage play we could run at that time.
Was that the reason why Jay was also doing it? Is he usually the one that throws in?
Jay's a great passer in that situation. He's a good passer, and he can see. He's great in a full court situation because he has that size. I don't know about his decision making, but he can throw a football. It's pretty impressive. He's got a heck of an arm.
You guys had a lot of sloppy play early, and then obviously at the end you went 3 for 3 on perfect execution to get the win. Just describe how your guys, handled the pressure, facing kind of a must-win game and converting on 3 big plays at the end.
Yeah, we had some sloppy play, and then when we weren't sloppy, I thought we had some good execution and just didn't make shots. I thought Kendall Stevens had 3 or 4 looks at it that were really good passes from our guys that could have opened the game up a little bit or really helped us at that time. And we got the ball at the rim. Basil had the ball at the rim a couple times. AJ had the ball at the rim a couple times, and we just couldn't finish. So obviously we have way too many turnovers, but for us, we're able to execute at the end, and obviously that's a positive. But I thought once again our rebounding what was the highlight of our day? I don't know how many offensive rebounds we had, 17. That's pretty good. And so once again, we've done a pretty good job on the glass.
Matt, I think the play from Simpson to Hammonds was probably your cleanest post entry of the day. How come it was such a struggle up until the last second of the game?
Well, we try to work on it and break things down, and I just think Penn State did a good job of working him in the post and getting around. I thought Jack did a good job of getting around. He got deflections, got a couple steals. He had blocks. I thought he had a great game. He forced us to change how we defended. We put a perimeter on him and just switched it out right there. Then we put AJ either on Ross Travis or the other big that they would play. So we thought he gave them a look that we struggled with in the first half. We were just fortunate a couple times. He just missed open shots, and but I don't know. We just got to keep working. You got to keep working. When the other team knows, and every single team knows that's what you're trying to do and get the ball in, sometimes it makes it a little bit tougher. I think if we knock down some of those threes, I think our post entries are going to be a little bit more open. I think we just got to do a better job of being more of a consistent shooting team, and it'll help with our post feeds.
You got kind of a limited offensive night from Tyrone and Ronnie off foul trouble on Ronnie, but he comes up with the defensive play of the game to knock that ball loose, and then Tyrone, the three-pointer, obviously, that lob at the end doesn't mean anything. He doesn't hit that three to set it up.
Yeah, I thought Tyrone hit that, hit a pull-up, in that second half coming down the stretch. He made his free throws 5 for 6, and he did a lot of little things. He had, a couple looks in the first half that were really good looks. He made a couple extra passes. I thought in that first half, one, Sterling missed it, and then Sterling drove after he was wide open. That was a poor decision on his part, but he's making better basketball plays, and he's making the right basketball play. And Ronnie never got on track offensively, but that's part of it. And you guys have talked a lot about it. Does our depth help us or not? You have somebody else to go to, and I thought Bryson Scott did a good job defensively as we were going offense, defense, subs. I thought Sterling Carter did a good job defensively in that stretch. They're tough to handle. DJ Newble and Tim Frazier, both of those guys, they're tough to handle, and they spread you out with big guys that can shoot the basketball, and it's hard for us, especially because we have a big post.
Matt, there's the old cliche about you want a guy who wants the ball when the clock's ticking down like that. What does it say about Tyrone, the way that he demanded that ball, took that shot, and knocked it down, of course?
Well, it was a huge shot. It was a breakdown from the play we tried to run. They did a good job of switching out and knocking it down. Something they did was different than they had run before. Right as it broke down and got in his hand, I was trying to let him get that clean look, and then once he couldn't get something, I was trying to get a timeout. When he hits, if you watch me, I'm trying to get a timeout, and the crowd's so loud I don't get one. And then I'm a little shocked, by everything taking place right there. I try to get a timeout right there to set our defense, and I don't get that either. So, it was a great shot. It was a big-time shot. And the worst thing, and I always talk about when we go through things, the worst thing you can do in that situation is, and I always stop and let them answer it, is you don't get a shot. It's the worst thing. We see it all the time. We try to fine-tune the execution. Sometimes the play that's made is just a one-on-one play, but you got to go get a clean look, and he was able to do that. And you have to give him credit for stepping up and knocking it down. Thanks.
Thank you.